Summer's a great time to relax and slow down and kind of shake up your eating habits with different foods in season right now. The rising heat out there, the types of food you can get, the most are changing. Now, health coach Sarah Bloom is with us this morning. She's going to talk with us a little bit more about how to make the most of your meal to improve your health this summer. Good morning. It's great to see you. This is one of those times of year that it's kind of like everybody kind of gets into a different routine from what we've had during the school year. It seems like a perfect time to have this conversation.
Sure, yeah, summer's kind of a slow down time, right? And it's a great time to focus on food with your family. And I'm kind of a broken record. I'm always saying eat real food, which means we're avoiding a lot of the packaged stuff and actually looking at real foods. And what a wonderful time for that. This is when everything's blooming and growing and harvesting in the gardens and in the farmers markets. It's just a perfect time to look at fruits and vegetables and other produce that you can eat and be hydrated by, right? And in June, like all of the fruits are coming out, so we're looking at strawberries. Like, we can get fruit year round now, but that doesn't mean we should. You know, fruit now is at its peak. It has its best nutritional value. So this is the time to really look into those foods. And with hydration and summer, we have the watermelons. Perfect timing, right? Why is it that watermelons grow and are harvested in July when we need hydration the most? So you can not only drink hydration, you can eat it too.
For sure. Talk to us about you mentioned eating real food versus the packaged stuff. What are some of the downsides to having so much processed foods in our daily diet?
Well, the easiest way to remember it is, was it grown in nature or was it grown in a lab, right? If it's grown in nature, it's going to provide you with the nutrients and the energy that your body needs. That's what we use food for. That's what it's there for us. Packaged foods, you know, sometimes they're filled with things that our body doesn't recognize. So especially if you're trying to be healthier or you're trying to lose weight and you're exercising and you think you're doing better, but then you're eating a lot of packaged foods with artificial sweeteners or additives, or, you know, there's the GMO crops, a lot of that stuff that's hard for our body to digest. So it's really important. Real food is just actually whole foods. That's why the grocery store is so popular. Whole foods. That's like a whole banana, a whole potato. Rice is a whole grain. So like actual food. That makes sense.
Absolutely. And the farmers markets right now are exploding. And that's what's so great is we do have access where maybe once upon a time you could only go to the grocery store to try to find your produce and your foods.
Totally true. You know, we used to farm. Families used to farm so much more. I think it's only about 1% of families that do now. And so farmers markets are a wonderful way to get reconnected with that process. Who's making the food and how are they making the food? And then you have access to that wonderful produce and things that they've grown, honey, they have their own bees. It's just something that we can reconnect to, and it inspires us sometimes to do more at our house. Because again, you control how the food is grown, and it has nutritional value that you just do not get when you just grab boxes off the shelves.
And really growing your own produce at home is not as hard as a lot of people might think. Is that right?
Yes, yes, you can do raised beds. Oklahoma, you know, we have a garden here at my house, and the clay in Oklahoma is hard to work with. Raised beds kind of eliminate some of the issues with that because you can control the soil. And if that sounds like too much, you can just do a pot, one big pot. You could still plant a tomato plant. I mean, a tomato right off the vine is just, there's no flavor better. And those are coming around in about August. So it's not as difficult as it sounds.
I've got about a minute left, but I know I want to kind of hit on exercise and some of the things that we could do. It does get hot. It does get hard maybe to find an exercise that still allows you to stay comfortable while you're doing your exercising.
Right. You know, the days are longer now. They feel longer. So maybe you can take out an earlier time in the morning when it's really cool, or maybe after the sun has gone down. But right now is a wonderful time, again, as things are slower, to just reconnect, like I said, with nature, but reconnect with your body. Slow it down. Yoga with Adriene. I heard you guys talking about yoga in the segment before. She's out of Austin, and she's on YouTube, and she is free, and she is the best instructor I've ever learned from. And things about yoga are, people say, I'm not good at it, I'm not flexible. It's a practice. There is no conquering yoga. It's for your body's sake. It's for oxygen moving through the body. She has yoga for everything. Yoga for a headache, yoga for anxiety, yoga for when you're bored, whatever it is. So just take that time, and she's a wonderful teacher to help us do that.
Mention her name again so we can make sure folks know it.
Yoga with Adrienne.
Yoga with Adrienne
on YouTube.
Awesome.
She has an app that you can pay for, but it's free on YouTube, and it has been for years.
Hey, we appreciate your time and look forward to talking with you again next month.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day.